Whoops. No, there. All right, so we're going to do I am going to do 2 streams in one day, apparently. So now is the regularly scheduled, regularly scheduled Coffee Companion live stream. So we're going to go ahead and do that. What are we working on today? Let me go ahead and switch over so we can actually see what we're working on today. Of course, everything's going to stop working now that okay, there we go. Switching to see my app code exactly. And then I'll drag Trello over. All right. So, what are we working on today? Today, we've got, this should actually not say the 12th. It is the 15th. Sorry about that. So we're really going to add a notes section. So a notes thing to the coffee brewing part, to the brewing method, and figure out where to put that exactly. And then we're going to figure out how to make the time text a different color. So that'll be fun. Sorry if you tuned in last week for this. I had some family stuff come up that made it slightly hard to actually keep a track of. I mean, to actually do this last Friday. So I'm really sorry if you tuned in last Friday and this didn't work out, or you were waiting last Friday to do this. Again, sorry. Just had to, family stuff comes up, all that good stuff. But, we don't have to do that anymore. We don't have to do that today. There might be some interruptions today, so if there are, please don't worry. I'll just pause the stream really quickly and I'll go take care of that. So please excuse if there are. Cool. With that being said, let's get started on adding a notes section. So I know I also got CloudKit working on here, which was nice. Let's go ahead and run the app though real quick so that I know where it's going to be. Oh, did I? I did. Haha. Alright, and it's loading. So things should hopefully go a little bit quicker than they have been before. I changed up my streaming setup to do more on so that my more powerful computer, like what I use for my game streaming, gets actually to is what's doing the streaming, and then the computer itself, like the MacBook that I'm programming on, doesn't do that. Cool. Where should I add in notes to this? Also, the edit looks really not level. And I don't know, that just looks odd, doesn't it? It's not in line with the back. That's weird. But, okay, so where should notes go if we had a notes section here? I'm just trying to think, because it doesn't really make... It makes sense, if it was... Would it make sense underneath the start or before the start button? Yeah. Fun times to figure this out. Let's see. It would probably make sense if it was right here. Maybe. Sorry. I know this is fun listening to me. I should have had this thought about before I started the stream, but I didn't. It's okay. Sorry. I'm sure that's great in your ears. So would it be a list of notes or just have a link to go view more notes? So in here at the end where we have the sheet is presented, could it just have another option to show the notes, or should the notes be like prominent, like just note and then it show a certain number of characters? I think that's actually the way to go. So new file, we'll just do a new SwiftUI file for this, and then I'll have to get it added into the core data object or CloudKit object, but that's okay. Brew note, note section. I am surprisingly without animals right now. I don't know why or how that happened. I want to have another tab and go from calc main. Brew note section divider. Cool. So actually this is going to be a V stack. Inside the V stack, we're going to have a text. It's going to say notes. Or actually this needs to be inside an H stack. Spacer. Button. Action. What we're just going to type in here as a stand-in function to add notes. Text. Add note. Whoops. There we go. Do you guys, for those that code or use like an IDE, do y'all actually get a little bit upset? Like if you're in like a normal text, like an email or like a text message and you forgot to add quotes. So you highlight the word and then you put quotes around it and it just has one quote. If that's just me, that's perfectly fine. But I do that quite often actually. And it's a little bit annoying. Because like I should have something there. Because I'm like so used to like Xcode or any kind of IDE, like I use VS Code and Atom also, and I just get a little bit peeved that like occasionally the word goes away, or words if I was trying to put stuff in parentheses and it goes away, and then I have to go and edit that myself. And then underneath here, text. It's just going to say, what is it? Note. All right, let's run it. Let's see what happens. Cool. I think that'll work out fine. Right? Because then you can hit add notes. And it's just going to print it. That's fine. And then I need to add a thing here that says dot. First we need it to go into the leading, and then we need to also dot line limit 2. I think that'll be fine. Let's try again. Thanks for dropping by, guys. If you're completely new, I just want to point out what I'm doing kind of. I've made this app, or I'm currently making this app for brewing coffee. So like pour over, all that kind of stuff that needs specific weights, and you need to be able to specify how much water is needed, or it's all based off a ratio. That's really what this app is used for, to do that. So that's what happens. And let's just do dot foreground color dot secondary. And I wanted to do something else here. Oh, VStack. We're just going to align that. alignment is a dot leading that way. It should all be lined up to the left. Let's make sure first. And it is. So great. So there's no notes. So it says add a note. And let's just put some padding underneath this H stack. I'm using Swift and SwiftUI to make this app. So it's all been made so far in Swift and SwiftUI. I don't think it'll change, honestly, from that. All right, great. So that's there. Let's go now. We need to do two things. When add notes is done, it needs to pop up with something for me to type in a note about this brew. So probably another sheet with this. And then we need to actually add this to the core data model. So let's just go ahead and do that. Notes. And it's just going to be a string. Cool. So this should actually uncalc main brew method into brew note section. Should take in note brew method dot notes or no note. Let's see if it'll do that. It might be a little bit upset because it's like, no, it does not exist, but it does. I guarantee you it does. There we go. So in theory, no note. Awesome. So that's working. Well, it's getting it from there. The next thing we need to do is actually, the reason why I had to do this or is because strings in core data are by default, don't have a value, or they can't have a value. So even though note can have a value in there, since it's always going to be passed, I actually don't even need to put this add note. So we can just give our note string. It's just in this preview section here, we're going to put note, and it's going to say, no note, add one if you want to see here. And close the parentheses, and that should be good. No note. Great. This edit button is still like really weird. I'll have to figure that out. Let me see him. Edit button is not lined up with, whoops, is not aligned with back button. And that is going to be a label, a design. If I don't put it here, I will, and it's actually technically a bug. It is a design bug. If I don't put it in Trello, I will forget that it's there. Great. So let's see. Okay, so we have that done. So now we have to add a sheet that needs to be called so far. Note is note. How did I do this before? What did I call these in here? Go up here. It is called is settings shown. So is notes var is adding notes shown. So inside here, we'll say self dot is adding notes shown equals true. Boom, boom, boom. And we got to get a sheet in here. You can. Oh, it has to be a state. My bad. There we go. Okay, so it was built successfully now. So let's do a, let's do something here. So let's do a fun little game here. Hi, Thorgy. Thorgy decided to join me. So now we need to make that brewing section. I'm going to add it to the edit view, because that makes sense to me in here. Because you could, in theory, edit a note if you wanted to. Note, edit. Okay. HStack, text, brew notes with a text field. Brew method. Notes. Binding is going. Oh, I don't have one in here. At state private var. Notes equals the quote. Bling notes. Oh, I get it. I get why I shouldn't be doing that in there, because it's not really an edit. I could make it not an edit, an editor. I could make it a different thing. I know different thing. It's not very descriptive. But either way, if it goes into a sheet, I need a way to confirm that these notes have been edited. Sorry, I'm just trying to think through, like, where is it? Here it is. So, like, what happens here when you hit edit, like, it would be another option. We could also put another option here that has that, and then the text field here for me to hit, which none of these actually do except for coffee amount. So then I could type in, great, and then save. But coffee amount, I basically want this, but coffee amount, but with the notes section. See, I guess I did coffee adjust for something like that. I bet that'll work. But we could still have a note editor in here. In main edit, at state var brew notes string quote. So then I go to note edit, just take out private. Yeah, because if it's private, it can't be accessed by what's trying to access it. And instead of a state, it needs to be a binding. And then I don't think it can have this. We're just going to do that for now. And now in main edit, when we call nodes, where did it go? Notes. Bling, brew notes. Unresolved identifier of notes. Nope, it has a... Oh. Oh, because I still have to give it a type. I haven't actually given it a type. Duh. String. Go back. brew notes. What did I do wrong now? It probably needs a binding and not just a capital B on the binding. Yeah. Are you better? It says it's still missing it, but we have it now. So if I build it, cool. Where? What? Oh, is this really the case? Do I have more than 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh my goodness, I do. We can group. So in SwiftUI, there's actually a really hacky thing you can do, is where there is in their bloom amount and bloom length, like we can actually group them, and then that will start. So SwiftUI inside views have a 10 max that you can do. So we're gonna copy that, cut that out, group it, and I think that'll make it happy. Cool. And it does, from what I understand right now. So we can do that. So yay. How long? Oh, why did it? Wait, what? Did it stop? No, it did not stop. Why does my session say 0? Stream. Sorry, guys. I think something's going on. Why is there? No. Okay. Okay. Let's do... All right, so let's keep going. Sorry about that. I had a little bit mix up there. I don't know why Twitch was saying I was offline. I was odd. All right, so that's done. That's there. Let me run this now and see, make sure it actually works inside the edit. Oh, sorry. Great, that's there. Edit here. I hate. Great, edit. So then we can type in whatever these are. Is there something better that I can use than just these text fields? Like a text area for SwiftUI? What's the equivalent? All right. While Xcode 11.4 does not support text view, I found that wrapping UI text view is still the best way to multi-line text. So there is technically no way in SwiftUI to get multi-line text view, but I guess I could wrap I could do what he suggested or what this person, I shouldn't say he right off the back, what this person suggested, and and wrap it inside a text view. But it still looks like there's something issues there. Man, that's a lot of work for multi-line text view. I think for right now, we're just going to stick with how it is. And instead of a VStack, for that, instead of a H-stack in there, we'll just do a really long VStack. And they're going to be... So underneath note edit, we'll take this to VStack. And alignment... dot leading, yep, and delete this info. Awesome. Great. So that should put now. It looks almost the same, except it gives more room on the text field. I just don't want to deal with embedding. I don't want to deal with embedding multi-line here, which is fine. I mean, maybe SwiftUI 2 or whenever, since WWDC is coming out next week. I mean, is next week not coming out? It'll be here. Since it is next week, maybe there will be something else, something better for me to do next week, for me to use next week. And then I guess this, and we could release this as is and then update with SwiftUI 2 or the next version of SwiftUI. Okay. I need to actually get this updated now with no edit inside main edit. For sure. Brew method dot notes equals brew notes. Great, so that gets updated easily there. And in here, we still need to make the new file to make that so that, like, kind of like how coffee amount pops up. Notes adjust. I'm just trying to keep in the same scheme that I've used before for coffee adjust, notes adjust. How do I do it here? Just as easy to see how I did it here. Oh, come on. Can I not? Oh, it's because I already have it split. What is wrong with me? So let's see. In here, we're going to do... We need to get that environment, the manage object. Yep, the manage object context so that I can update the coffee for the brewing and the presentation mode so I can dismiss it. So this can just be a simple copy paste. And now I need to actually get that brew method manager. Let BMM equals brew method manager var brew method. It's brew. Oh. Sydney, what'd you see? Man, my cat just like jumped right up on that window. Let's see, hold on. I know, very exciting. There she is. Oh, she's not standing up anymore. I promise, she was standing up against the window. I don't know. I'm guessing that a bird or a lizard came by and it just like, she just really enjoyed it. Brew method. It's just going to be a brew method, not brew method manager. What's wrong with me? Brew method. Cool. And now I need a state variable at state private. This can be private var new note equals quote quote. Brew method. Wait, what? Okay, we'll adjust this. We'll come back and we'll adjust this in a minute. I'm going to just comment it out for now so that those errors don't mess up my actual errors. It's so nice, like being able to actually get errors as you're typing in Xcode. I don't know what was happening. Oh, wait, no, I knew what was happening. I didn't have enough, what am I looking for? I didn't have enough RAM or anything on that computer. So, you know, now working with the different computer, it actually helps me like have more resources on my MacBook. Sydney, can you stop? No? Okay. Sorry, the cat was sniffing the dog's butt. I don't know. I don't know why they're so weird sometimes. Okay, and inside here, we're going to call that note edit. Binding is going to be bling new note. Yep. And then basically this has to go inside of VStack, and it's going to have a cancel button, and then the thing, and the save button. Okay. So inside here, instead of just note edit directly, we'll do VStack, note edit, mark. Inside this mark, wow, if I can hit M, it'll be okay. Mark. So inside this mark, we are going to do a cancel button. It's just going to help me see exactly what's there. Each stack. Spacer. Button. Action. Self dot presentation mode dot wrapped value dot dismiss text cancel. I really should like make this like a function that I can just grab or something like that. Like its own view would be really good. Dot foreground color is dot red. Cool. Spacer. Duh. Then we're going to basically do another one too here. Save. And I'm just going to copy this too. Notes adjust. So instead of that, we're just gonna grab that. And then we just need a function here. Func save new value, I think is what it's called. Right? Save new value. So under save new value, what are we gonna do? We're gonna brew method dot notes equals that. Then we just call up the update function. brew method dot notes equals to do new note, and then we want to do vmm dot update brew method with the MOC. So our manage object context, brew method, and then we now need to get the presentation mode to dismissed. All right, and that should now update our notes. Let's see if it works. And I think it's going to work here. Oh, I didn't have it call up the... Okay, well, awesome. Can also work with V60. Save. Hey, look at that. I go back. V60, no note. Go here. Hey, there's note there. Run it one more time. And then we'll add in the brew note section and actually get that in there. V60, no note. ChemX can also work with V60. That's awesome. Yes. I like when things just work and they work nicely like that. Because once they work nicely like that, it makes it a lot easier on my end. Let's see now. So underneath the brew note section, what are we going to do here? We are going to boom, 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 is true. And then we need to add dot sheet is presented is going to be the is adding notes shown self dot content is going to be notes adjust. Oh, I need more than just brew method. Crap. Okay. We'll just actually brew method brew. Okay. And that is going to be brew dot notes or no note. Okay, so if there's no notes here or no note given. Okay. So now in calc main though, I need to, instead of sending it the brew note, so we're just going to send it the brew method and change this to brew. And then under here, brew method, it's fine. Oh, self fix. And we need something else in here. Environment. Cool. Let's try again. Oh, right. And environment / dot managed object context var MOC, I think is all it needs. Yeah. No, we're still having issues. Does now remember MOC. It does now. Whoops. And we're about to build. So build was successful. Let's see how it goes running wise. And It didn't die. Why? Bling is, it should pop up. Self-dot is adding notes. Equals true. It should get that notes adjust. But why? Self. Okay, so I don't know why the thing isn't showing, but let's just try see if there's anything else that we can do here. All right. So I go here, add note. It says true. It's given true, and it adds notes. But why is it not doing is adding notes shown equals true. Print self dot is adding notes shown, which it did. But why is it not adjusting? What did I do wrong? Coffee amount. Okay, but if I go to the button, true. Self dot chosen setting equals dot coffee amount. Okay, so what do I do here? I mean, it's doing that. I guess I could try passing it in like this is. Okay, so brew notes. Instead of trying to do it inside the brew notes section. So we'll change this to an at binding var. And then go out here, calc main. And then in here, where to go? Brew note section. What is it? What did I say it was called? Is, oh, actually, if I just hit Command B, I think it'll throw up an error that I'm missing one. Boolean first, cannot invoke. We'll just okay, so first let's just do, so if self dot chosen setting equals coffee dot amount. Great. Else if self dot chosen setting equals dot brew notes brew method, right? Is that right? I don't even know. Is adding notes missing? This is just a mess right now that I'm doing with all this binding and stuff. Is that even necessary? Do I actually have to do that? I don't think I do actually. I can just do is setting shown equals true. Right, chosen setting equals dot coffee equals whatever. Coffee amount. Oh, yeah, because I don't want to do the whole button. I just want to do the add button. Oh, but if I did this in the same way. Okay. So actually I just messed all this up. So let's go back. We don't need this. Nor do we actually need this. Sorry. Cool. Okay, so I don't... That's like all I need. Right? Sydney. You're a mess. Yes, you are. Oh my goodness. Too much. Okay, so then I could just make this a button exactly like I've done the others. I think that's the way to go. Button action self dot is settings shown equals true. So self dot chosen setting equals dot brew notes I know. That's all I need. And then we're going to call that. Right? Great. Cool. I really have to adjust some settings here, like padding and all that kind of stuff, but I think this is actually going to work. Well, except that comes up with brew method notes instead of whatever it's supposed to be. Don't think that's saved. All right. So we have notes address. That's going to copy all that in. Can we actually go to, first we need to go to brew notes section. Inside brew notes section. Okay. Nope. Okay. Inside here. Self-dot method, brew method. Brew notes. Note adjust. Dot padding. Dot all. That way it just goes on everything. And then we should be able to put in a spacer here, but so let's run again. Well, test name works. But why? Oh, because it's reading brew method notes, and that's not what I need. Bling new note. So, like, I should have a dot on appear here that will say self dot new note equals self dot brew method dot notes or no note. I think that'll solve part of that issue there. All right, so then if I go to Chemex here, hey. Okay, so it just doesn't refresh on close, which is actually an issue I was having before, but this does. So why? What did I do differently from coffee? Amount edit? That's a binding variable. Note edit is a binding variable. Notes adjust. That's a brew method. I wonder if it's because I'm setting in the whole brew method instead of just the notes. String. Because I don't really need the whole object. I just really need the notes. Whoops, I don't need a question mark there. I just need a great. Now in calc mean. Brew notes. Is going to be brew method dot notes. Let's see. I think this might have solved the issue, hopefully. Chemex. Here's a note about brewing. Let's try this again. Can I like to use this for V60 as well? Hey, there it is. The only thing is, I really do want it to say brew notes. I don't know why I took that all out of there. Cool. Cut. VStack. Alignment. Dot send. Leading. I get why it's leading and trailing, because if you localize your app for different countries, have them be different things. So like different countries read left to right, right to left. So I get like leading can then go left to right if it needs to, or right to left if it needs to, like pretty easily, hopefully. So that's okay. With me saying leading, I think that should be. Oh no, I didn't add in the. Whoops. Text. Brew method notes. Or I'll just keep it as notes. Dot font. Dot sub. Let's just see what headline looks like. Chemex. Oh, because the headline is dot font, foreground color, dot primary. And actually what we're going to do is wrap this into a wonderful H stack here with a spacer. No, with the text first. And then a spacer. Cool. And here's my notes. Awesome. This should do 2 lines of notes, even though you can't see it in the text field, which is totally fine. Click on it. You have the option here. Let's go ahead and make that inside note edit also a subheadline. I mean a headline, not a subheadline. It just helps distinguish between what's an input versus what's not an input on the screen. That's the only reason I'm doing it that way, which is good. Cool. Where'd it go? Here it is. Great. Awesome. And I think that's done. So that can be marked done on the Trello board. Trello.com/coffee app. Done. All right, and then I actually have to put together like my whole like list and get this all onto the thing. Figure out how to make time text a different color when the time is right. So basically what that means is where'd this go? So the next thing on the docket is, see this 0045 here? When I hit start, I want this to go from, should it start in yellow? But basically, once it hits 45, I want it to go to yellow. Let's just say I want it to go to orange or whatever color I said here. I think it's orange. So that it's a different color and it makes it a little bit different. But I think that should be slightly easy here. If I go to timer view, minutes, seconds, great. Time, 00. So really I just have to check if that time, oh, but I don't have the blooming time going into here, is equal to the blooming time is really what I need. And if it is, then we input, oh, I see. Hold on. Okay, so if the timer, so really, okay, but do I just not have blooming? Okay, so it's probably in blooming where this is. Oh, I have a bloom time there. So if blue time, and then I do a format time. Okay, so that's just time for bloom. So if time for bloom equals the, see, so it would be a different format time. And then where's my timer? Oh, timer views here. Okay, so we have 2 different views going on. So that means I would need a state variable. I need a notebook thing. So I can write this down and think a bit more out loud. Okay, so I would need a state variable in state variable needs to be in the main view, right? Yeah, so state variable needs to be in the main view so that it can, no, I mean the state variable can just be in the timer view, right? But how does it get orange? Because there's nothing there telling it to be orange. Right, so the timer view, sorry. The timer view really just needs to know what the bloom time is. Needs bloom time. So inside the timer view, we have our bloom time. Then, once the timer view hits the bloom time, timer view turns orange. Timer turns orange. So I really just need to have the bloom time come in here, which it already does, right? No, it does not. So let bloom time equal int. Sorry, not equal int. Int equal 45. Okay, so really though, in calc main Broom dot, okay, so then where's time review? Bloom time equals brew method dot bloom length. Use of unidentified, but it's in there. Oh, hold on, and I will be right back. Just 1 second. All right, and we're back. I realized that the issue is that's a constant. Well, with a constant there, and why I can't assign it is because, well, there's constant. So instead of, we'll just do a variable instead of a constant. So now that should be better, maybe. Bloom time. No, there is a bloom time. Right? We have bloom time. We have bloom time there. In timer view. Oh, duh. It needs to be a... Okay, so now there's another failure, but I think the failure was because of the int64 thing. Great. That's done. I probably, like I said, don't need to use 64 because I don't need like 64 bits inside that integer, but that's okay. Great. I'm gonna build that guy. And, yep, okay, so I mean, the main thing is that it's building. What I want to do after it builds, though, is actually set this up a little bit better. Get that conditional going. So if timer view, so we have that bloom time. At state private var total seconds equals 0. See, because we're already adding here. I mean, I'm checking things. Self dot total seconds equals self dot total seconds plus 1. Yeah. Okay, so no matter what, it's always adding 1. Great. Self dot total seconds equals 0. See, gross, Dobby. Can you just go over there? Go lay down. That's a little bit gross. You kind of just sound like you're gonna hack up a lung. Anyway, so we have our bloom time here at 45. Again, I'm trying not to add too many things there because, like, I have to check. So if this number equals that, then it's done. If it's greater than or equal to that. So what if I just do if total seconds is greater than or equal to bloom time dot orange, I think is the color I chose. Else, just normal. Then it's not checking down here. It's actually checking it when it's supposed to be rewriting or redrawing or whatever. Let's see. Let's start. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gotta wait the 45 seconds. It's great. And then I probably want to get it going on a real device soon too. Oh, it hasn't been 45 seconds. Awesome. I also need to do background work on here. How to get a background task. Which is going to be fun. Alright, we're at 33 seconds. 36. It's getting so close. 42. 43. Oh, hey, it did it. So let's try it again. Well, I add this card. Timer stops in the background when the app goes to background. Gross, boys. And that is definitely something I'm going to have to do before 1.0 is released. Oh. Big bugs. And if this works, then this stream is not practically done. $41, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, sweet. Well, that was easy. Time shifts because of font. Change to Monospace font to fix. Labels, design. Can I do that easily here? Dot font. Dot, oh, dot system. Let's see, dot. No, I really just need, Monospace font in SwiftUI, because I really like font design. Oh, design.monospaced. Okay, so I need the system side. So it's basically what I had here, comma, design dot monospaced. I don't know. Let's try it. Oh, but that's not gonna. Wait, what just happened? What's happened? Sweet. And I also like the Monospace font a bit better. It doesn't shift. And it has a 0 with the slash, which is actually what I do exactly when I write zeros. I think we could actually even move that from here to done. Awesome. Well, guys, I think this was a successful stream and a successful development time. Let's just say what's next. We have what's Friday's date? Friday's date is the 19th. All right. So what do we need to do? Or what do I want to do? Oh, whoops. That doesn't get to be done. This gets to be done. All right. So with that being done, next time we can work on some background tasks, which is great. I don't know if I'm going to move this back to backlog. Because I don't think that's something that needs to be done for a 1.0. Add a log of coffee brewing. I don't know what that looks like yet. So that would be a design-wise thing. I'm going to move that to backlog to just give me some more time to think about it. 1.0 is actually looking like it's coming up pretty quickly. Actually, I mean, there's some design work that definitely needs to be done here. Like the titles need to be a little bit better, a little bit bigger and stuff like that. But that'll, but I think we're actually pretty close. So there's going to be some design work. Well, we're going to work on the background app, design on alternate icons and getting that implemented. I'm going to add in a checklist here. Design alternate icon, implement choosing alternate icon, which means I'm gonna have to have like a gear or an info button up here. So that might break out into a larger section, which is a lot of how these happen, is like there was just a bunch of like little small to-do tasks that I needed to get done. let's actually switch this. There we go. So timer button, timer stops there, and that's it. So I think I'm actually going to call it done here. I think we've actually successfully gotten a pretty good chunk of this done. Let me switch over to here real quick. I'll write up some release notes, stuff like that. Okay, so thanks for sticking around for these like hour and a half. I really appreciate it. I'm going to write up some release notes, get this to test flight since I didn't release a test flight last week. Next Friday, we should be doing the background app work. So continuing that timer when the background goes in there. This might be something that, like, where I store the date of when it went into background, compare it to the new date when it opened, and then get the seconds and add that in. We'll have to figure that out as it happens. And then also have to do the and then we'll do the edit button work as well. And there might be some work on like an ultimate like info or about or settings button. So with that said though, thanks again for everyone watching. Stick around, don't stick around here. I'm probably done for the day. But tomorrow at some point I might stream some more Zelda and Tetris fun. So make sure to hit that follow button if you want to watch that, or to get notified whenever I start working on Friday again for the for more Coffee Companion stuff. Again, also in the links below on both also on the links below in Twitch, you should see a link to Coffee Companion. If you click on the image, it'll take you to the GitHub, I'm pretty sure. Now I want to go make sure. Twitch.tv/apps. So go to /apps by MW. If you go there, you should see at the very bottom, you should see, not at the very bottom, the project, the Coffee Companion project. Clicking on the link takes you to the website. There you can see the latest live stream. I got to get last week's up. GitHub repo, Trello board, all that good stuff. Newsletter, make sure you sign up for the newsletter to make sure you know when new betas are out, when it's going to be released, all that good stuff. So just click on that image that says Project Coffee Companion in my About section, and you'll get taken there to learn more. If you really enjoyed this, thanks so much for watching, all that good stuff. If you want to see more or contribute to anything I'm doing, there's also a donate caffeine button. Click on that. You'll be taken to my Ko-Fi. Anything given there is greatly, greatly appreciated. Anyway, like I said, tomorrow, sometime during the day, I'm probably going to play some video games. On Wednesday, I'll for sure play video games. And then on Friday, we're going to get some Coffee Companion stuff going around. And again, thanks so much, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.